Welcome back, everyone, to another soul-searching conversation with Sanam. I'm Sanam Lalwani, and I'm so excited to be here with you all today. Thank you for joining us today on this beautiful journey of the self. Great having you here with us, Saloni, my lovely niece, by the way, living in New York now.
Thank you. Lovely to be here. I'm excited to talk about all of this.
Yeah. Okay. Saloni's passion for yoga began as a child. Her desire to teach this ancient wisdom grew while she was completing her yoga teacher training at the Shivananda Yoga Ashram in Kerala, India, over 20 years ago. She opened one of the first yoga studios in Hong Kong in 2002 and now teaches in New York City. During the years, many of her students expressed a desire for ways to better cope with their stress and difficulties in life. As a result, her teachings shifted towards meditation and breathing. Saloni now holds over 1,000 hours of registered training, including coaching in mindfulness meditation, in loving kindness, compassion, and resilience. As a self-relationship coach, her teachings are aimed to build emotional resilience so one can navigate life with clarity and peace of mind. Her method is designed especially to help you easily integrate self-awareness meditation, breathing, and mindfulness wisdom practices into your already busy life for meaningful self-transformation. Saloni's passion is helping others gain a deeper understanding and connection with their emotion and mind, as your relationship with yourself determines your relationships with others and the outside world. So thank you so much for being here with us today, Saloni.
Thank you for having me.
Your relationship with yourself is the most important, and yet it is the most difficult in life because there is nobody or no situation outside that one can look to blame. There is nowhere one can hide or run away from oneself, as ultimately you have to come back to yourself. At the end, we are accountable for every thought we have and responsible for every action that we perform. So I wanted to dive straight in and ask you, Saloni, as a self-relationship coach, what does it mean to have a relationship with yourself?
What it means is basically how you internalize what's happening in the outside world. How do you feel about yourself determines how you perceive the outside world. You know, what is happening outside is happening. It's a situation. We make it a problem. We make it a difficulty, or we make it joy. And how does that happen? Because we are interpreting it in a certain way. And so having a relationship with yourself is basically like getting to know yourself, understanding why is it that I act this way? Why is it that I react this way? Why is it that certain things bother me, but they don't bother anyone else? Or why is it that something bothers me and it does bother also everyone else? Because many times, you know, we don't realize that actually we're very similar, and our basic needs and our basic desires and our basic hopes and our basic feelings of inadequacy or all of that is shared, and it boils down to just a few basic things, really.
Yeah.
And so that's what having is a relationship with yourself. Like, it's learning about yourself. You know, we spend time with other people, we get to know them. It takes time.
Yeah.
And this also takes time, it takes effort, and it's a skill. It's something that can be learned. And unfortunately, at a young age with children and schools, it's not a skill that's learned. And I feel it's the most important skill there is. So yeah, that to me is what
Yeah,
relationship itself is all about.
I agree with you. We spend so much time getting to know other people, but not as much time with ourselves.
Right.
So that's why my next question actually is, why are people afraid to have this connection with themselves? And why is self-love so difficult for most people?
I think because, it's a scary place to go inside, because a lot of us have no idea what's going to come out. And we have no idea what we're going to realize about ourselves, so I think it's scary. It's scary to feel the emotions, especially the pain, the disappointment, guilt. We're very hard on ourselves. A friend can do something and regret it and feel, oh, I shouldn't have said this, or I shouldn't have done this, and we'll say it's okay, it's happened, this is life, you tried your best, or now you're going to realize for the next time, whatever. But when we do it, how could you have done that? Why are you so stupid? What was wrong with you? What were you thinking at that time? So we're harder on ourselves. And so going within and realizing that and feeling the emotions that we feel, it's a scary place to go.
Yeah.
It's a scary place to go.
Wow.
Yeah. And more importantly, we have to feel, and a lot of the times someone said it should be louder. I'm trying to move this closer. Is that a little better?
Yeah.
I'll try and come a little closer as well.
Yeah, that's better.
So yeah, a lot of the time it's about feeling. In our mind, we have our identity. We have this belief of who we are.
Yeah.
We think, oh yeah, this is who I am. And then we have a belief of, thank you. We have a belief of, then what we think other people think of us. And then we have a belief of what we actually do think they think of us. So none of this matches. None of this is, real. It's all what our mind makes. And a lot of times we stay in the mind and we're focusing on all of that instead of actually going within and focusing on the feeling. And that's, again, it's why we're afraid to do that, is because it's scary.
Yeah, it's true. Wow.
Yeah.
So how do I develop a good rapport with myself? If you could give us some tips, that would be nice. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, that developing that self relationship is about, going within and going deeper and deeper into the core. So let's say something bothers you in life, something's irritating you in that moment. Even if you don't have time in that moment to evaluate it and to do some introspection, going back later in the day and saying to yourself, this irritated me. This then spoiled most of my day, or this had me then react a certain way, and then I hurt someone's feeling. So what was it? What was that core emotion that I was feeling that made me act out? And that's a good tip to begin with. It's a good tip to just go inside and understand, what are my beliefs? What was being triggered at that time? What was being challenged about how I believe and how I perceive the world at that time? Maybe it was a situation that occurred, or someone said something to you that hit a certain button. And so what was it at that time? And normally at that time, we can't evaluate because our brain becomes kind of a fog. When our emotions get in the way and we're not in control of that, then our analytical mind just shuts off.
Yeah.
And so it's always good to go back at the end of the day and sit there. And, a lot of this is about going deep into those early beliefs, from our childhood, from the early years in life. And where did they come from? What are they? Do I even believe what I'm feeling now in my life? Because a lot of times we actually do change and we evolve and we realize, this is not something that I believe in.
Yeah.
Or this isn't a value that I actually really have anymore.
Yeah.
But our body hasn't gotten that memo, hasn't gotten that message yet, that actually, I don't actually believe this anymore.
Yeah.
And so we have to go within and realize what is still in that body, what is in that emotional, what is in that nervous system that makes us react at that time. And so that's a good way of at least starting this process, is going back and just being aware. Awareness is the first step for all of this.
Wow, that was beautifully put. Really amazing, amazing. So, in our generation and the generations before, if we spent time on ourselves, it appeared as though we were being self absorbed or egoistic, even. So, can you clarify the difference between self love and being self absorbed?
This really is a this really is a great question because it goes down to really like the core
Yeah.
of what this all is. Being self-absorbed um, is this attitude of what about me? This what about me? How is this going to affect me? If I do this, what's in it for me? This is a lot of, look how great I am. And it's a lot of focus on me, me, me. Even when you do something nice for someone else, it's like, oh, this will make me look great. This will make me look good. Look what I can do. And it's feeding into this ego, it's feeding into this, so when you have that attitude and you feel that that is self-care and that is self-love, it's only serving you. And there's a limit of then really what that love gives you. When you talk about real self-love, ironically, it's actually about your connection and realizing the connection that we all have and the similarity that we all have, and how, it's wanting to this collective feeling.
Yeah.
And when you come from that place, that we are all connected, I hurt you, I hurt me. When we come from that place, we actually develop a bigger, deeper, and higher kind of love that then you automatically, because you're feeling that love within, it ends up just becoming how you love yourself too.
Wow.
Wanting to take someone else's pain away,
Yeah.
and just doing it purely to take their pain away, and that's why you're helping. That is a bigger love and a beautiful feeling than doing something to see how it will affect me. How will this benefit me? And so when you come from that higher place, and when you come from that kind of place, that is truly the essence of who we are. We have all these layers that are being piled up on us, throughout our lives. We're born with certain layers already, and then we have other layers that are put on us from society, from our caregivers, from our teachers, from all these different people in our lives. And these layers are put on us. Oh, you're this. Oh, this is important. This is like, don't act like this, otherwise you'll be betrayed like this. And so you get all these layers, and it kind of covers up who we are. So this relationship with ourselves, or the self-love, it's not about finding it somewhere else. It's already there. And it's about peeling the layers off and taking off those limitations that we have on ourselves to get back to that. So that self-absorbed, if you can even still help people, but if it's not for that collectiveness, if it's not for the goodness of everyone, it's a different kind of helping when you're helping someone purely because you want to take away that suffering. And so when you act from that sense and you have that energy that's flowing in you in that way, you can't help but also love yourself. You can't help but have that joyous, that feeling of compassion and empathy, and all of that then grows and grows and grows. And so that's what it really does get to the core of it. So that was a great question.
Yeah, beautiful. Like Baba also says, love is selflessness, self is lovelessness. So that really sums up what you just said now. So
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you. And my next question is, in society, we have this tendency to want to be liked by everyone or please everyone. Why and how does this affect our relationship with ourselves then? Because we tend to compromise on our own self. So what?
This is kind of this feeling of how then we feel about ourselves. I feel the more confident we are and the more secure we are in ourselves, we won't necessarily feel like that as much. I also I love this perfectly imperfect. It's like a phrase that I've heard a couple of times.
Yeah.
And, it's actually funny if you think about the people in your life and who you care about and who you love. Um, it's usually the little twerks
Mm.
and the little imperfections that you actually love about them,
Yeah.
that are drawn to you about them. Oh, it's still louder. Sorry.
Mhm.
Is that better?
Yeah, it
Okay,
seems
a
fine
little
on
louder.
my end. Yeah, my end is good. Yeah.
Okay. Um, yeah, so it's those it's those imperfections that we appreciate or that we like about someone. The way they wrinkle their nose when they're upset, or the way they snort when they laugh, or the way they get stressed, but the way they handle themselves. Even though they first break down and then they lift themselves up. These are the things that we normally like. And so when thinking about, oh, do people like me, and I need to be perfect, and otherwise they won't, and I can't show any vulnerability, and I can't show that I'm struggling, it's tiring.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
really exhausting.
Yeah.
And putting yourself out there sometimes a little bit can be scary,
Yeah.
but I feel if more of us actually end up doing that, we may actually feel a lot more closer and bonded with each other, and we may actually start realizing that we all actually have those same feelings. Everyone, when you go to a gathering, a big gathering, everyone is feeling the same way. Everyone's feeling, I hope everyone likes me.
Mhm.
So if you go in there with that mindset that, oh, everyone's feeling the same way I'm
Yeah.
feeling,
Yeah.
then it becomes a little easier.
Mm.
Again, it becomes that big connection, right? We're all connected.
Yeah.
So that collective feeling. So I feel if you really go in there, and then again, that more security in yourself, understanding who you are, how do you talk to yourself? What's your inner dialogue?
Mm.
Are you kind to yourself?
Mm.
Do you judge yourself a lot?
Yeah.
Are you forgiving of yourself? And I think all of that, when you work on that and you build that up also, then, you just go and have a good time. Yeah. And just enjoy people's company.
Yeah. And be in the moment, right? The present moment.
Right. And you know what? You can't please everyone.
Yeah.
Right? That's also okay. And you have to accept it. Acceptance is another thing.
Yeah.
You can't make everyone happy.
Yeah.
And that's also okay.
Mm. That's
Yeah.
true. That's a very beautiful answer. And I was just thinking also, this came to me because I just realized like it must be very difficult for teenagers nowadays, to cope with the pressure like from social media, because in the past there wasn't much of social media. So if you went out, you just went out and had a good time. But now it's like there's this pressure, this added pressure of social media. So I was just wondering, how does social media play a role in creating anxiety, stress, and FOMO, fear of missing out, in us?
Yes, this is big FOMO. As honestly, as much as you let it,
Mm.
you know, um, it's up to you how you interpret again what you're seeing on social media.
Yeah.
And I invite you to look at your own page
Mm.
and look at the whole page, like open it up, look at your Instagram page or whatever, really like go through your feed, scroll down, look at all the pictures that you've uploaded and whatever. What kind of image have you given to the outside world?
Mm.
And that image probably is lovely, full of joy, all the happy times. That's what you're showing in your page.
Yeah.
And then I invite you to go within and say, does my page actually represent how I feel and what my life actually is? Is what I'm showing, does my page actually show the fears that I have? Does it show the difficulties that I have in relationships in my life? Does it show that I'm struggling each month to pay my bills? Does it show that I actually feel unloved, even though I'm in a relationship or married? Does it show that I struggle with time management, that I'm always feeling like I'm on the go? Does it show the difficulty? And the answer is probably no, it doesn't.
Mm.
And so have that thought then when you look at social media with other people's pages. Yes, they're showing you the wonderful things. And most of them, and yes, people do obviously have wonderful lives, and some look better than others, or some maybe are a little easier than others. But again, you have no idea how people internalize things.
Yeah.
Someone, it could look amazing on the outside. You could be like, what do they have to worry about? But again, it's your stress reaction. How do you deal with stress? How do you internalize things? So something so small for someone where they would be like, this would not give me stress at all. This really isn't a big deal. But that same thing to someone else could be so damaging to their emotional and their mental health.
Yeah.
So we really have no idea the internalizing that everyone is doing. And therefore, also with social media, I think, look at it, enjoy it, appreciate what people are going through, appreciate what they're what they're doing, and come from a place of also, I think this is also very important, is this place of abundance. We kind of feel like, oh, if they're happy, then I can't be happy. If they're successful, I can't be successful. And I think coming from a place of abundance, where that's great that they're happy, that's great that they're in love, that's great that they, have this material thing, that's great that they live here, that's great. Who's to say? I mean, you're on your journey, and appreciate the journey that you're on, appreciate the path that you're on, and focus on that, and be you, and be happy for everyone else. And I think also another thing is, we have friends and we can look at their page, but a close friend of ours, we maybe know what they're really struggling and what their life is really like. So just be mindful of all of that when you start feeling that insecurity, or when you start looking through social media and you start feeling less than. Remember all of that, and then realize, this is fun. This is for us to celebrate each other. This is for us to share the good things about ourselves, and that's great. And so as much as you let it affect you.
That's amazing. In fact, Dr. Shefali says, no one is coming to rescue you. No one is coming to make you feel whole or free. The only person who needs to show up is the one waiting. You. Are you here yet? So I thought that was really a cute thing, that a really beautiful thing that Dr. Shefali has said. Anyway, but do you have any advice for parents with teenagers on how to deal with this? Like, if there is any 1 or 2 tips that you think that parents can help the children go through this?
I think the most important thing, I think, is be the example. I think that's the most important thing. Live what you want them to feel. Like, if you're talking about things that you find difficult about your life, or if you're talking about yourself and your insecurities, and it's great to share those, but then show them how you're coming out of it. Show them how you're still entering the world with these feelings, and how you're overcoming certain things. So live by example. You can't be, feeling a certain way, but then tell them to feel another way.
That's true.
You can't be showing them that this is how you feel, but then when they show you that, you're like, no, you shouldn't be feeling this. You should be feeling this instead. So you have to be the example. And your words, what messages are you giving to your children? I have kids, and I'm, especially my younger one, like, sometimes I'm like, what message am I giving her when I say this to her? It's a big responsibility when we think about how emotionally we're actually affecting our children through our own words and our own actions, and what and children and teenagers, they pick up on what they're seeing, not what they're hearing.
Exactly.
So I would definitely say that. And then to explain this whole self relationship for teenagers and for young people in general, I like to put it more like, like, be your own friend. Get to know yourself like you would a friend. When you meet someone, it takes time. It takes time to build trust. It takes time to understand what their insecurities are. It takes time for them to understand what it is that, upsets them? What is it that makes them happy? Their biases, their beliefs. It takes time to get to know someone and become someone's friend. Takes time to trust that person. It takes time to know that, oh, this is a person now that I can call when I need help, versus, when you don't really know them, you're not really going to do that. So explaining it that way to young people, I think it's a wonderful way. It's like, become your own friend.
Yeah.
The same way you'll comfort a friend, comfort yourself that way. The same way you'll talk to a friend, talk to yourself that way. And I think that's a nice way, even for us, to look at it that way. But I think it's a nice way, especially for young people, to talk to them about kindness, and to talk to them about, if you were going to be your friend, what would you say?
Yeah.
How would you feel? How would you treat yourself? The same way you would treat a friend. Would you say that to your friend? Would you be that hard on your friend?
Yeah.
So I think that's a good way to introducing this to young people.
Yeah.
Is to focus on that. But yeah, you have to be the example.
I love that. Love it. Very, very nice.
Yeah. That's even on social media and looking on your phone all the time. You can't be like, put your phone away, you're on your phone all the time, and then you're like on the phone all the time, which is something that I need to also work on.
I think we all,
but exactly, you have to live by example.
Yeah. Really nice. Wonderful. So also now I just found that it was very impressive to see that you made a switch from teaching yoga to mindfulness meditation and breathing, because you saw that there was a need for this. So when you started working on this, did it help you develop that relationship with yourself?
Oh boy, yes. For sure.
Was it difficult?
Yoga for me, when I first started teaching yoga, and studying yoga, over 20 years ago now, it was focused on healthy body, the asanas, the exercises, strength, balance, flexibility, all of that. It also helped to definitely focus the mind. Hatha yoga is for that. Hatha yoga actually is to prepare us for meditation, holding the posture, holding, all that, the flexibility, the balance, the massaging our internal organs, all of that. Those are like the side benefits, really. But the main benefit of Hatha yoga is to focus the mind, relax the mind. So I did feel like I became more patient. I became, definitely. And then the yogic philosophy, Vedantic philosophy, I love. And the ethics and the virtues that come from there. And I definitely try to live those. We all have our ups and downs. We're human. I mean, that's something else that we have to all realize from this, is that we're human, and be forgiving towards yourself. And the hard times or the mistakes that we make, you have a choice. You can sit in that stuff and beat yourself down, or you can say, okay, I'm human. I made this mistake. Now, how am I going to learn from this so that I don't repeat it? So having that kind of attitude. So I feel with the yoga, it was like, me learning and like practicing all of this and trying to navigate life while doing that. But it was only after, I guess in my 30s or whatever, that I realized honestly that I had, a lack of self-worth and low confidence. And that's where I felt the mindfulness helped me. To build that up, and to work on that, and to work on beliefs from the past, and to work on, how I felt about myself. And it takes time, it takes effort. It's not easy. You have to put in the time, you have to put in the effort. Main thing is consistency. You have to keep doing this. The meditation, you have to keep going inwards. You have to keep doing it. You can't, you can't do it once or twice and that's it. You have to do it. And then what's super important is not only just the meditation and the mindfulness, it's also the wisdom that comes with the meditations, the mindfulness and awareness meditations that there are. And there's so many types of awareness meditations, and they're all designed to help us go within and to learn about ourselves, to peel off those layers to get to the essence. And so, what's important is to understand the wisdom behind that. You can meditate, you can do an awareness meditation, and then you go back to your life and you still react the same way and you still feel the suffering that you feel. So the wisdom that comes hand in hand with these meditations are that's what's important, because then it's like, okay, through this meditation now, what can I notice about my life? What can I start to shift in my life? That is actually going to have real transformation. And that's what we're wanting. We're wanting to transform, right? We're wanting to grow. We're wanting to deepen our understanding and our happiness. We all want to be just peace of mind.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that you hear all the time. Peace of mind, peace of mind. But what does that mean? It means that you're not agitated, you're not worrying all the time, you're not stressed all the time, that you actually have some sort of, joy. No matter what's happening around you, which again takes work. So yeah, this is an ongoing journey. And once once you're on it, and if you're really committed to it, it takes work. But oh my God, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Yeah.
Wow, it reminds me of Marie Kondo when you said joy, because she always talks about sparking joy. And she just, although she's talking about clearing space, I think it has to do with the mind too. She also says, discard everything that doesn't spark joy. And I think that goes with how you said that we don't want to be stuck in that emotional baggage that we carry with us, and we want to really come out of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that goes into like the whole negativity bias. Exactly, like clearing out the space, clearing out that negativity in our head. Negativity bias is something that, when in the caveman days, it was, you would run away from a tiger. And the stress response would come on, and the survival instinct, and you would just flee and go. And so you're not really thinking, you're just like in a survival mode. And the thing is that right now we don't have tigers in our lives, but we have reputations, we have social stress, we have, monetary, we have basic needs that we want to be able to, enjoy as well. So that's our stresses now. That's our, what we look at as danger in our lives now. And so that negativity bias that we have is there, and it kicks in. It kicks in at that time where it's like, oh my God, this is a threat. I need to be on alert. I need to be like fight, or flee. So, so that also is super important when it comes to this, is understanding that, this negativity bias, we need to like kind of let it go. We need to bring gratefulness into the practice. We need to be appreciative of what we do have. We need to focus on that. We need to focus on the positive things. Again, in the evening before you sleep, why are you thinking about the one bad thing that happened during your day? Think about that to grow and to learn, why was that a bad thing? But then do you even take notice of all the good things that happened in your day? Yeah. So bringing that into your practice also is super important. So yeah.
Because research does show that our mind has about 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts in a day, and almost 75% of those thoughts are repetitive. And most of the time we are thinking negative by default, because our subconscious mind is the subconscious mind's primary function is to protect one from danger. So exactly what you said.
What is our danger now? Oh, it could be social, it could be, what is your danger? So going within an understanding, what is it that you feel that you need to fight for? That's when that affects you. So all of that, exactly. And like what she said about clearing the space, we want to clear the mind, and that's what the peace of mind is. We want to get to that place.
No, that's beautiful. So then I don't know if I should ask this, but basically, what changes did you notice when you entered this journey? Like, how differently did you feel from before?
For sure. Is that better? The sound? Everyone's saying the sound. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So how it's like when you go to the gym for your body, you work out and you go home and you look in the mirror and nothing's changed. You go again the second day, you work out, you go and look at yourself in the mirror, and again, nothing's changed. But if you keep that consistency going,
Mm.
one day you're going to start noticing, oh, I feel less bloated. I'm able to fit into things better. You start noticing the changes that are happening in your body. And so it's the same thing with this. How do we notice that the shift is happening? We right now we have ups, we have lows, right? And many times we're like following the ups and the lows. It's taking us on that, and we get depressed and we get upset and we get angry, or we're up here and we're so joyous and we're so happy. And so we're going on the ups and lows a lot. And so this is really about when you start realizing that you're not following the up and lows so much, but you're actually more at a higher vibration frequency, where those ups and lows are happening, but you're a little bit removed from it in a way, where you're still feeling it and enjoying it and being present in it, and you're appreciating also the hard times, but it's not taking you on that huge emotional roller coaster within. And so when you start noticing that, okay, someone that would normally upset you didn't actually affect you as much this time. Or when you start noticing that, okay, this did upset me, I erupted, but you know what? I got over it a lot faster than I usually do. These are signs that what you're doing is working. So the same way with the meditation, this mindfulness meditation, all this wisdom, that's why I say it takes time, it's effort, it's commitment, because you can meditate one day, you can download an app, meditate every once in a while or whatever, and then still you get upset when things happen and you're like, this isn't working. Meditation, what's meditation? This isn't working. But again, it's continuing this. It's a commitment, it's continuing it, it's the consistency. And that's when you actually start seeing the shifts in your mind. The same way with your exercising, you see the shifts in your mind, in your body, through time and through, you can exercise for 9 hours and nothing's going to happen. But you exercise 20 minutes a day for a month or two, you're going to see a difference. So that's how you notice the shifts, when you're interacting with the world in a different way.
Okay. Yes, that is wonderful. Can you tell us a little bit more about mindfulness meditation? I know at the end I was hoping to request you to do a little meditation session with us.
Sure.
But
and everyone's still here. Yes. So mindfulness meditation, first of all, there's a focused meditation where you have a mantra, where you can like gaze at a candle. You have something to help you focus the mind. Mind likes to go everywhere. Even when you were saying before, all the thoughts in the mind or whatever, like the mind, the mind wants to solve problems. That's what the mind does. That's the nature of the mind, to try to solve a problem, to try to make things better, to try to understand. The mind also wants to know why this has happened. That's why so many times it's hard to let go of something, because the mind wants to make sense of it. And so, focused meditation is about first quieting that monkey mind, which many people call it, first quieting that down, because you can't create self-awareness. You can't be aware of what's happening within you in your body if your mind is all over the place. So the first thing is to go within and focus the mind. The mindfulness is where the fun starts and where the real work starts. Because mindfulness then is, now your mind is a little quiet, and now I'm going to drop into my body and I'm going to feel what's happening. And this is where like you connect with your emotions. So many times people are up in their head and they're not able to just go down and actually just feel. And this is where the mindfulness, it says mindfulness, I feel it should be called heartfulness in a way. But the mindfulness brings us that peace. The mindfulness helps us to regulate and balance our emotions. And then that is actually then you go back to your head with clarity. Now you have clarity in order to make the right decisions, in order to problem solve, in order then to make a good decision based on everyone involved. Because again, mindfulness, remember, is about not just me, it's about everyone, that collectiveness. So when we build that love and that compassion and that empathy within, then when I go back into my mind with clarity and with that bigger love, now I'm going to make a decision that hopefully is going to serve and be good for everyone involved. But I am also focusing on me. Now, the one other thing about mindfulness that many people seem to think is, well, I don't want to become a doormat. I don't want people to take advantage of me. I'm supposed to be kind and loving. Oh no, that's not what this is. You set boundaries, you take care of yourself, but you do it all in a very loving way. You do it with this intention that, okay, I love you, but I know that you're actually not healthy for me right now. And that's okay. So I'm going to set the boundaries I need to protect myself, but I'm doing it with much love for you and for us to have harmony in our lives. But that clarity and everything comes when we go into our body and we focus on that emotional part of us. Yeah.
Wow, that's so deep.
That's how mindfulness is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's something that can be learned, which is the wonderful thing. It's something that can definitely be learned.
Yeah. Very beautiful. So what does it entail to be a self-relationship coach? Like, what are the type of questions you ask your clients, and what is the way you go about with your coaching?
I try to feel that I'm more like facilitating someone's journey in a way. Only you know what's inside.
Yeah.
And it's all about you going within and honestly being open and honest with yourself. Because many times, like, we like to fool ourselves also.
Yeah.
So we need to be vulnerable and we need to be really open with ourselves. And I'm not asking you to tell me anything you're not comfortable with or share, or, I'm here to facilitate you on that journey of how to explore yourself. And there's mindfulness meditation, and there's all sort of mental health. People who have had real trauma definitely need to go to someone who is specialized in that. But when you have this sort of awareness, it actually helps in that process as well. So it's kind of like, again, like going back to the gym and the body. You have fitness instructors who help you at the gym and who tell you what to do or whatever. You can go to the gym every day, think that you're doing something right, but unless you understand your body type, unless you understand your metabolism, unless you understand all of that, you could be going to the gym and nothing happening. But you go to a fitness instructor at the gym and they put you on some sort of system, and all of a sudden you start seeing results.
Different.
So it's the same kind of way. Like, I'm here to guide you, but you still have to do the work.
Yeah.
You still have to go to the gym and do it. That's instructor content for you.
Yeah.
So you have to do that. So, but if, let's say, you injure yourself, then you go to a physical therapist and they specialize in that. So, with mental health also, there's so many different things. People go to the therapy, people go, for trauma, healing, all of that. But it's this basic awareness first that I feel is so important, that can help to facilitate all that other stuff as well.
Yeah.
So with mindfulness, it's about, you of course sharing, people share with me what it is that they feel their struggle is. And then the thing about mindfulness meditations is that there are so many out there. There's some for self-love, there's some for caring, there's some for empathy, there's some for compassion, there's some for breath awareness, there's sensations in the body. There's so many different things to choose from. So that's where I come in, where I'm like, okay, that's the difference between downloading an app and just choosing any old meditation. I'm here to, like, okay, this is something that you feel you're struggling with, I feel this could help you. And then along with that wisdom, okay, what can we blend in with this meditation for you to notice in your life? And again, it's all about building up that self-awareness.
Yeah, that's true. So I wanted to ask if anyone else has any questions. I know Mickey has said, yes, acceptance of your imperfect self is very important, but it is difficult for me, but learning those. So I think we all are in the same boat.
Yeah.
If anyone else has any questions, because
you're right, it's difficult. It takes work. It takes work. Again, the more, once you start, it's like, again, like I keep going back to the gym theory in the body that, when you first start going to the gym, it takes time, it's hard. And the mind also, it's used to taking you on a joyride. It's used to taking you from one thought to another to another. It's used to doing whatever it wants to do.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're starting to tell it, wait a minute, quiet down, because I want to go deeper and I want to explore myself. And you're actually getting in the way.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden the mind is like, what? No.
Yeah.
And it's going to fight you on it.
Yeah.
So, the same way your muscles, it's like, what are you doing to me? This is hurting.
Yeah.
But the more you do it,
Yeah.
it actually does become easier.
Okay.
It does become easier. And
So, sorry, I have a question from Anisha. She says, I have a question. What are some boundary setting tips?
the boundary setting tips, I would say, first of all, understanding why it is that you feel you need to set this boundary. So what is it that maybe is happening in your life or internally inside you where you feel that boundary needs to be set? What is it that you feel this, I assume it's people, relationships with others. What is it that you feel that they're taking advantage of? What is it that you feel that is making you feel bad or uncomfortable that they do? And then accordingly, you say it in a nice way. You say, being able to say no already is something that many people find difficult.
I have a hard time.
So coming up with ways to say no when you know that this is something, with this person, that's this back and forth, saying, I'm actually not really feeling comfortable to do that. Or, I understand what you're saying, but no, thank you. Being able to actually say, you know what, this isn't actually something that I think will serve me well. Or say, I understand, but this is something that I'm not able to do. Please go find someone else to help you. Setting things like that. And setting boundaries also means sometimes, not doing something, for instance, also, saying something that maybe you always do and maybe stepping back a little bit from that situation. So it really depends on the situation. I feel it's very hard to say that in a broad sense.
Yeah.
But it really is about looking at what it is exactly that you're feeling is stepping into your personal space, stepping into that disrespect for yourself, what exactly is happening there, and then coming up with ways of how you think, if it's someone who you can't take out of your life, who's still in your life, what certain lines that you have to put that it's like they cannot cross. And so that depends again all on the situation.
Yeah.
But it takes time, and it's creativity a little bit too.
Yeah. Anisha says, thank you. You're a great speaker. Neha has a question. What mantra do you recommend to chant to help gain focus in your meditation? I think you'll be doing a meditation with us, right? But yeah.
So I focus mainly on mindfulness. So mindfulness is not really having a mantra. The only thing that I do where it's like we focus on something, I do with the mindfulness meditations, that we focus on the breath, or we focus on sensations in the body. So those are the two things that I would say that I use as an anchor for that focused meditation. So I don't really have, with mindfulness meditation, there isn't really a mantra. That's a different kind of meditation. So yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And also, I know this is nothing too important, but I just love the name that you have thought of for your Insta handle. And how did you come up with the name Internal Rhythm? I mean, it sounds beautiful.
Thank you. I don't know. I think I was going through so many different names, and I think it was like which website was available.
Okay.
But I definitely wanted to focus on the internal stuff, internal, inside. And then I just like the rhythm because what I'm focused on more is like the emotional resilience, balance, because emotion really is what drives an action. Even if you're asking someone, let's say, to donate for something, you have to first touch their heart.
Yeah.
For them to want to give. The emotion is what drives a lot of stuff in our lives.
Yeah.
And that sort of is a rhythm. That's kind of like, it's like what, So yeah, so it was just something that came. It was a lot of like, brainstorming a lot of different names, and then this kind of stuff.
That's cool. Is it possible for you to type on the chat maybe your website and your Insta handle? Maybe if anyone would like to get in touch with you and have a session, because Saloni, you've just been an amazing speaker so far, and
Thank you.
yeah, it's just been beautiful to hear all the different um, experiences you've had, and
Let me just see that. Yes.
yeah.
Website,
And then maybe we can get into the meditation and the breath work, the pranayam, and the
yeah.
so if anyone else has a question, otherwise we can
I
do
didn't
a
see.
little.
Sorry. Okay. Yes, that time is correct.
So the second one, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. That's great. So would you like to take the floor? And
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So the reason why also like I still like I don't teach asanas anymore, but the reason why I've stuck with breathing is because breathing still connects the body and the mind. Breathing can help calm our nerves. So while we're doing this mindfulness meditations and we're learning more about ourselves and creating this relationship with ourselves, what do we do at that moment when we are actually feeling stress or we feel we're about to blow up? So that's where the breathing comes in. So that's why I still love pranayama, and I still feel it's super important in anyone's practice to learn controlled breathing. So yeah, so we're going to just get in a comfortable position. We'll do a breathing practice, and then I'll go into a little bit of a self-love meditation. So think maybe 5 or 7 minutes. I'm not going to go on too long. So just relaxing. You can close your eyes or have a downward gaze, whatever is comfortable for you. If you're on a chair, on a cushion, just sitting, kind of have your back straight. So you want your back to be alert, but at the same time relaxed. Relax your mind, relax your shoulders. You can place your hands on your knees or on your lap. And try to breathe into your belly. So inhaling, feeling the air enter your nostrils, down your throat, chest, and into your belly. Let your belly expand. And then exhale, letting your body relax. Two more times. Let's just breathe in, filling up all your lungs and going down into your belly. And then exhale, releasing all the air out. Relaxing your mind. One more time. Inhale, nice and big. And then exhale, letting it all out. Now we're going to stay with inhale and exhale, but we're going to extend the exhalation. So we're going to inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now exhale again through the nostrils. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So do this a few more times. Inhale, nice and big into your belly. And exhale, bringing your belly to your spine, letting out all the air, relaxing your mind. Inhale. Exhale, just letting go. Two more times. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. And exhale. Now just bring your breath to its natural rhythm, wherever is comfortable in your body. Stay with your breath. You're not trying to control the breath or change it. You're just letting it be. And I want you to just try and stay in your body. So drop from your mind down into your body. Your body gets you where you need to be. It heals you when you're hurt. Your heart is always beating. And so give your body the love. Feel gratitude for all it does for you. My strong, beautiful body, thank you for all you do. And I want you to bring awareness to your head, all the knowledge that your head has, contains within. The beautiful thoughts that your mind can have. Those thoughts can bring you joy and love. So appreciating the power the mind has and the joy it can bring you. And now bring awareness to your upper back. Maybe pull your shoulders back a little bit. Feel the strength flowing through you. Your shoulders carry so much of that strength for you. Your shoulders help you stay strong. And it carries the weight for yourself and for others. Now bring your awareness down. Let it flow down your arms, your hands to your fingers, and release any tension you may feel in your hands. Maybe open your hands, face them upwards towards the sky. Your hands hold you. Your hands hold others. Your hands allow you to feel and spread love. And if you're having thoughts right now, that's okay, just let them go by. And just say to yourself that you are in your body now. And so bring that awareness again to your hands. And now we're going to move that awareness to your heart. This heart expresses love and gratitude for yourself, for others, And I want you to feel in your heart the warmth. Feel that warmth and that love resonating and moving in your whole body. Moving down to your belly, movement of your breath. And just thinking this breathing body of yours, with every exhalation, you're releasing tension and stress. Now bring awareness to your hips and everything in between. Your hips support you, the energy you have. That root chakra helps you be grounded. And when balanced, it helps you become positive, confident. Moving down your legs, thighs, calves, and ankles. Appreciating your legs guiding you through life. And down to your feet. Your feet help you feel grounded. Your feet hold you. You're now moving back up to your heart. And again, feeling that warmth of your heart. Feeling that warmth and love moving all around your body. Feel the connection to your body, to yourself. And thank your body. Thank your mind. And mentally repeat to yourself, I am a powerful being, full of love for myself. Let's repeat that mentally to yourself. Say, I am a powerful being, full of love for myself. Just letting that stay with you. How does that make you feel? And when you're ready, you can slowly move your fingers and your toes. You can open your eyes.
Wow, thank you, Saloni, for empowering us with skills like this to tap into our inner potential. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. What you're doing is lovely.
Yeah. My takeaway from our talk today is everyone has scope and potential to take their life to the next level of their evolution. When you truly love yourself, you'll know what boundaries you need to set, and you will show up as an empowered person with healthy relationships. When you fall in love with yourself, it means that you genuinely enjoy spending time alone. Discover your own inner qualities and your own talents. When we value our unique qualities, then we want to share it with a sense of sincerity and a place of authenticity. Love is the very foundation of our life and very essence of our being. That is why it is so powerful. As Baba says, there is only one language, the language of the heart. There is only one religion, the religion of love. So thank you so much, Saloni. It was wonderful having you as our guest today. And I hope all of you viewers really were able to take back a lot from what Saloni taught us today and the tips she gave us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was lovely.
It was beautiful. So if you would like to get in touch with Saloni, she's put on the chat, and after the session, I will also send out her information. And please kindly get in touch with her because she is just amazing, and she will help you to go through your emotions and fall in love with yourself. So it's
Yes.
really beautiful.
Fun for your time and your patience. Appreciate it. Thank you,
Thank you.
Sana.
Thank you. All right. See you all. Hopefully, we see you soon again.
Bye.
Bye.